Okay, and we're back. All right. Glyph of Fortuitous Spheres. Brewmaster, go.
All right. So it's a pretty cool glyph for low health. It's probably going to be one of our major default glyphs. Like if you have nothing else to put in that slot, you put Fortuitous Spheres and a couple others. And that's pretty much it, I think.
Okay, all right. Glyph of Detox replaces Glyph of Stone Skin. So will heal for 5% of the target that if you are successful in removing a harmful effect. So,
But you have to remove it. That's the thing. It's not a free new heal that they popped out there that I think a lot of people are going to make a mistake from. You're not removing a debuff. You're not giving them the heal. So it's kind of...
It's kind of cool though, because like almost every time that you're removing an effect, they've taken some damage. So I mean, it's a free heal, which is kind of nice. But is kind of limited in scope. So I'm not sure if I'd say if you have an extra slot and you don't know what to throw in there, this is a decent one.
Yeah, basically it turns it into a single target revival.
Right. Okay, Glyph of Targeted Expulsion. This one's pretty interesting. It allows Expel Harm to be cast on other players. This does replace the Glyph of Uplift, so no more mana cost for Uplift. You don't have that option. So this was interesting. I might play with it a little bit. I can't see this taking a spot for Windwalkers, though, because Expel Harm is so useful for keeping yourself alive, and if it only does 50% of that, it's not going to be that big of a heal.
Yeah, definitely. It's not really, it could have been if Tiger Eye Brew added a little more oomph to the healing bonus to it, but I guess maybe if you're like in a 10-man or something like that again, bringing that more of so with that might help out a tiny bit, but as far as like tank healing or something, really just go with other glyphs instead of that one. It just it's really not really as good for Windwalkers.
Now, does it give you the option, if you target yourself, does it still heal you?
No, what it does, it heals, it'll heal yourself still, yes. Yeah, that's
Okay.
how it currently is, so you'll still be able to heal yourself, but
For
then you can
100%?
also, like, have it on target. No, 50%.
Would it still heal you for 100%, though? Because it says, but the healing is reduced by 50% on them. So, we'll have to play with
like
that.
a double down?
Well, yeah, it's either you can heal yourself for the normal amount, no change to you, but you have the option if you're targeting someone else to heal them for 50%. So we'll have to play with that and see how that works. Okay.
Actually, it does. I just tested it. Since you're asked really quickly, it does double it up, so you get 150% of healing. At least that's what I got, but it may have just been.
Is that just a crit?
It may have been a crit. I will double check
I'm just
again.
in the game right now, going back and forth, and it looks like it's the same healing range for whether it's a friendly target or not. That could be just that I'm a Mistweaver and it plays it a little differently, but it looks like it does the same heal to another player.
Okay. All right, so Glyph of Afterlife now increases the chance to summon a healing sphere by 100%, up from the 25% chance. So I used this when I was leveling. It's a great one. It's helpful when you're out just killing mobs. It just pops a healing sphere for you. So don't think anyone's going to really use this in raiding situations at 90. Anyone disagree with that one? Okay, on to Glyph of Crackling Jade Lightning. Been replaced with Nimble Brew. So Crackling Jade Lightning before was just is that the knockback one or the one that made it look white?
I believe that was the knockback.
Okay. So that one's gone, replaced with Nimble Brew, which causes Nimble Brew to heal the monk when it clears root, stun, fear, or horror effect. So similar to the detox, just self by yourself. So I think this one's more useful for PvP talent, because you're going to get those a lot and Nimble Brew a lot. Does that say how big the heal is?
Just 10%.
10% of maximum health, which is not bad. But for raid encounters, I guess if there are ones where there is fear and whatnot and stuns, might be useful. That'd be a situational one at best.
Yeah, maybe a situational, but it's again going to be dependent on what other glyphs that you can utilize during that encounter.
Right.
That might just be more of a benefit.
Yeah, I think that's mainly a PvP glyph. So Glyph of Expel Harm has been replaced with Glyph of Rapid Rolling. This makes the next roll or chi torpedo go farther after using roll or chi torpedo. So when you use the second or third one, you'll go even further. So this will make sure that Duke really goes off Lei Shen's platform a lot more often. Yep.
I want a nice, beautiful arc.
Yes, you get a nice arc. You might actually hit the wall too, splat against the wall and fall down. So,
Nice.
yeah. So I don't know. Again, I think more PvP or just when you're traveling around at lower levels might be good. So.
I think this one's more of a PvP one because one of the tactics that's been heavily used against Windwalkers is I've got you at 25 yards, so you can't close the distance. It's like, oh yeah?
Yeah, can now. All right. I wonder if that stacks a third time. Like you use the first one, you go further the second time. Do you go even further the third time? Probably not.
With the celerity?
Yeah, if you use celerity along with that Glyph of Rapid Rolling, wonder if that would even stack the third time. But, oh well.
Would be interesting to find out.
Yep. We're just asking all sorts of questions today. Glyph of Transcendence. Now, instead of increasing the range, it decreases the cooldown. So, reduces it by 5 seconds. So, I know, Sunny, you had somewhat strong feelings about
Yeah,
this
this is
one.
a bummer because I really liked the range increase. I actually used that glyph quite a bit as a filler. And I so rarely run up against the cooldown of Transcendence. I more run up against the you are not close enough.
See, I'm the
aspects.
opposite way, I think. I only used the glyph. I tried to use the glyph once, and Duke was in there with me, and we tried to use it on Iron Khan. And it was just not close enough to make us out of the tornado in one click. Just too
No.
far.
Yeah.
Yeah, that fight doesn't work well.
Yeah.
Yeah, for Brewmasters, it's great, but as a Mistweaver, generally, I don't need to be somewhere instantly. I just need to move over there.
Right.
So
For Windwalkers, I
Chi
think...
torpedo was fine.
Yeah, I think having the reduced cooldown is, I think, going to be beneficial. There have been a number of times where I'm like, oh, I wish I had that back up, because I think it's useful for going back and forth to different places. So reduce that cooldown, you can go back and forth a little bit easier. So,